$10 billion a year. That is what Americans are now losing to a crime that begins with one word on a phone screen: hello. Sometimes it's, hey, long time. Sometimes it's a wrong number that apologizes and then keeps talking. It reads like a mistake. It is not a mistake. That message is the first moving part in an industrial machine, one with office towers, shift quotas, and its own armed security. Tonight I'm taking that machine apart for you, piece by piece. The people who built it gave it a name, and the name tells you everything about how they see the person holding the phone. They call it pig butchering. You're not the customer in this scheme. You're the livestock. 2 threads to hold on to. A fake trading website with a 14-character address, and what happened when Washington finally read it, and a number with cents on the end. Both come back before this file closes. Start with where the texts come from, because it is not where you think. They come from office parks. Per the U.S. Treasury, compounds with names like Taichung, Hunya, and KK Park sit clustered around Myawaddy on Myanmar's border with Thailand. Purpose-built estates, where online fraud is the business plan. The workforce is the first casualty. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime has identified trafficked nationals of more than 80 countries inside these compounds. Recruited with fake job ads, passports confiscated, handed a phone script and a daily quota. Treasury's designation file records what happens when the quota is missed. Rescued workers described beatings, electric shocks, and suspension torture. Hold that thought. The person texting your uncle may be a prisoner. Above the workers sits the management layer. Prosecutors describe Chinese transnational criminal organizations running the operations. And above them, per Treasury, sits protection, the Democratic Karen Benevolent Army, an armed group that was providing security for the compounds. When the scam needs muscle and the muscle has its own brigadier general, you are not looking at con artists, you are looking at an industry. When I worked transaction monitoring, we had a rule of thumb. The bigger the operation, the more ordinary its paperwork looks. This industry's paperwork is a text message that says hello. Here's the machine, one gear at a time, the map financial investigators use, not a manual. FinCEN, the Treasury's Financial Intelligence Unit, published the typology in a 2023 alert, and it runs in 6 moves. Move 1, contact. A text, a dating profile, a social media message. The opener is designed to look accidental or familiar, a wrong number, an old acquaintance. All the sender needs is a reply. Move 2, the fattening. This is the part that separates pig butchering from every smash and grab scam you've heard of. Weeks of conversation, sometimes months. Good morning messages, photos, a friendship, or a romance, built on schedule by someone working from a script. Notice what's missing. No request for money, not in week 1, not in week 4. Ask a fraud analyst why this typology is so hard to catch early, and that's the answer. Nothing about the first month looks like a crime. Increasingly, there isn't even a human face behind it. The FBI's 2025 Internet Crime Report logged over 22,000 complaints involving AI-enabled fraud at a cost of nearly $900 million. Fake profiles, cloned voices, believable video. The person you video called to prove they were real may have been generated for the call. Move 3, the tip. The new friend mentions, casually, that they trade crypto. They're doing well. They can show you. Move 4, the platform. The victim is steered to an investment website or app. It looks professional. Charts, balances, responsive customer support. Per FinCEN, the sites are built to appear legitimate and are fraudulent end-to-end. The market data is set dressing. The gains on the screen are typed in by the other side. The victim isn't investing. They're watching a performance of investing, staged for an audience of 1. Move 5, the withdrawal that works. This is the cruelest gear in the machine. The victim tests it, pulls out a few $100s. It arrives. That small, real payment is bait, paid out precisely so the victim will send everything. Savings, retirement accounts, loans taken in good faith. Finson's alert closes on one documented scheme that took 5 victims for $10 million. Move 6. The wall. The victim tries to cash out for real, and now there are fees, taxes, penalties, each one a fresh demand to send more. Treasury's file notes that some American victims lost their entire life savings this way. When there is nothing left to take, the friend of 6 months vanishes mid-conversation, no goodbye. The account simply goes quiet, and somewhere in Myanmar, a new conversation starts. From there, the money enters the wash cycle you know from this channel. Prosecutors and blockchain analysts describe victim funds hopping through mule accounts and over-the-counter brokers. Then the trail scatters across thousands of wallets and through services built to break the link between a deposit and a withdrawal. Placement, layering, integration. The oldest map in money laundering, redrawn on crypto rails. Now the flaw. The machine's operators sit in compounds no American subpoena can reach, behind an armed group 2 oceans away. Untouchable, except for one design decision they cannot work around. The machine has to come to the victim. The fake platform needs a web address an American can click. The money moves on blockchains whose ledgers are public, permanent, and legible to any investigator with patience. Every dollar that leaves a victim's account leaves a footprint that never washes off. The same rails that make the theft fast make the theft traceable. The cash outside carries a second dependency the operators can't design away. At some point, crypto has to become money somebody can actually spend. Every route to spendable money passes through a gate somebody regulates. An exchange with a compliance desk, a bank with a sanctions list. Turn those gates hostile, and the machine can still steal. It just can't get paid. Remember the 14 characters. Typology.com, a fake investment site that, per prosecutors, was run by scammers inside the Tai Chang compound in Myanmar. Registered in November of 2025. American victims were wiring money into it within a month, but a .com lives on infrastructure the United States can touch. The machine's front door was built on its enemy's land. On November 12, 2025, Washington moved twice in one day. The Justice Department stood up the Scam Center Strike Force, prosecutors from the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office alongside the FBI and the Secret Service, aimed squarely at Southeast Asian crypto investment fraud. The launch announcement carried a number worth reading slowly. $401,657,274.33. Crypto already seized and forfeited from these schemes, counted to the cent, because forfeiture filings are legal documents, and legal documents don't round. The same day, the Treasury sanctioned the machine's protection layer. The DKBA itself, its senior commanders, and the companies behind the Tai Chang, Huanya, and KK Park compounds. Sanctions don't put anyone in handcuffs. They do something quieter. Every bank, every exchange, every registrar doing business in dollars now has to treat the entire network as radioactive. 3 weeks later, the strike force seized Typology.com. The fake platform's American victims lost their money through a front door, and prosecutors took the door. By February of 2026, the running total of frozen and seized crypto had passed a new mark. $580 million. Per the Secret Service, it was clawed back from Chinese criminal organizations running compounds in Myanmar, Cambodia, and Laos. Follow what actually happened there. Investigators didn't storm a compound. They read the ledger, mapped the wallets, and took the machine's own plumbing, its domains, and its cash-out routes. You cannot arrest a building in Myanmar. You can absolutely seize its revenue. The net now reaches upstream of the theft itself. The FBI runs a program called Operation Level Up that identifies victims while the fattening is still underway. Per the Bureau, it has notified more than 8,000 people that the friend on their phone was a scam operation. Estimated losses prevented, over $500 million. Money the machine had already counted and never got. Here's where the file stands, and I'm not going to dress it up. In October 2025, Myanmar's military raided KK Park. Thousands of workers were expelled, and dozens of office buildings were dynamited on camera. Reporting from the border tells the rest. Per the Irrawaddy, armed groups helped truck people and equipment out to other sites, Shwe Kako, Payathanzu, Myawaddy town. The compound wasn't dismantled, it was relocated, demolition for the cameras, logistics for the business. As of June 2026, a Thai rights network counts more than 5,300 people still held in scam centers along that border. Still working, still generating losses. And the UN's regional estimate now puts scam losses across East and Southeast Asia and the Pacific at up to $88 billion for 2025. The FBI's own numbers say the victim side isn't easing either. Crypto fraud complaints cost Americans more than $11 billion last year. Nearly half of all scam losses were investment fraud, this typology's home category. Americans over 60 carried $7.7 billion of it. Those are retirements. That's the fattening, measured at national scale. So the honest ledger reads like this. The mechanism is mapped, published, and taught to every bank compliance team in the country. The protection racket is sanctioned by name. The seizure engine is running and growing. And the compound's moved 40 minutes up the road. This machine has not been destroyed. It has been made visible, and visible in this business is where losing begins. So, what this case teaches detection. For 30 years, anti-laundering doctrine chased money that was already stolen. Pig butchering forced a different lesson. When the crime is a relationship, the red flag is not a transaction. It's a pattern of life, a new online friend, a too-good platform, a withdrawal that works once. FinCEN now briefs banks to watch for exactly that shape, which means detection has finally moved upstream of the theft to where the fattening happens. That is new, and it matters. And if one line from this file stays with you, make it the quiet one. A message that opens with hello, and a mistake is sometimes neither. If this breakdown earned it, hit like and subscribe. The case files keep coming. Case closed. Follow the money.
Wing in incoming.